Okay, let's unpack this. We're looking at a really fascinating challenge today. Imagine you have two sets of biblical verses. They seem totally unrelated, like puzzle pieces from different boxes. One talks about, how people react often badly to divine stuff. The other, it's a guide on preparing for God to show up. On the surface, no common ground, right? But what if they actually reveal one single deep truth about encountering the divine?
Yeah, and what's so illuminating here is that these texts, one focusing on the divine imperative and the human response, the other on preparation for divine visitation from our source, Herald.txt, well, they aren't unified, really quite comprehensive way of thinking about theology, about how we engage with God.
Right. So our mission really is to kind of snap those pieces together for you. We want to show how that human response part isn't just a random reaction. It's the practical doing of the preparation. And it all kicks off with a divine imperative, God's initial move. It's a whole picture.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. The whole sequence, theologically speaking, it starts with God taking the initiative.
Yeah.
Think about the gospel. It's proclaimed as God's inherent power, what Paul calls dynamis, right? This raw power for salvation. And this power enters a world where its own creator, the Logos, the divine word, Christ, was already present. John tells us that. Yet that same world, John using the word egnu, it completely definitively failed to recognize him.
And that sets up this crucial tension, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You have God's active power, his presence, entering a world that's characterized precisely by its failure to recognize where that power comes from. So it immediately makes you ask, well, how does humanity react then?
Exactly. And often that reaction isn't passive acceptance. It's active rebellion, really. Across different areas, you see it with King Ahab. He's described as sullen and angry. That Hebrew was it's like this deep, resentful defiance against God's command.
Right.
Or think about the synagogue ruler in Luke's gospel. His indignation, agonaktish, just because Jesus healed someone on the Sabbath. It can even scale up to a whole nation's willful impurity. Tuma actively resisting being cleansed, like in Ezekiel. It's a strong theme.
So, okay, if that's the negative, the sort of resistant response, what does the positive one look like? What does it mean to be prepared?
That's where the covenant community comes in. It's the positive counterimage. This community, it actively defines itself by, boundaries of purity using discipline. It even acts with Christ's own power, that dynamis again, to address unrepentant sin within its ranks. And internally, it's not static. There's this dynamic of abounding more and more. Parasous is the Greek in love for one another. And crucially, it has this vertical focus, this upward orientation of joyful worship. A mandated joy, actually, samic, before God, like we see in Leviticus.
And this ties directly back into the Herald.txt framework, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because that document provides the structure for this preparation. It starts with the voice of the herald. Think Mark's gospel, prepare the way. Then it talks about illuminating the path with the luminary. And what's that? The word of God. Like the psalm says, a lamp to my feet and a light to my path.
Right. So pulling it all together, this human response, the positive version we just talked about, that is the preparation for divine visitation.
Yeah.
They're the same activity viewed from different angles. That's the connection.
Exactly. Preparing the way of the Lord isn't just, personal piety or quiet time, though that's part of it. It's a robust communal job. You've got judicial preparation, dealing with sin clearing the path. You have relational preparation, that increasing love paving the way. And then liturgical preparation, that joyful worship, consecrating it, making it truly a straight path ready for the divine presence.
And when you see it like this, it also highlights something massive about Christ, right? A Christological elevation. The gospel itself, the message of dynamis, becomes the ultimate voice of the herald. And the Logos, Christ the Word, who was there in the beginning, he becomes the definitive luminary. He's not just a signpost. He is the destination, the presence of salvation. He both calls for preparation and is the one we prepare for.
It's a really powerful synthesis.
So thinking about this whole integrated picture of divine encounter, what really stands out to you? It feels very complete.
I think it's the ongoing nature of it. For the covenant community, for believers today, the task is always there. Prepare the way of the Lord. And it's done through these concrete actions, judicial, relational, liturgical. It's not passive waiting, it's active preparation.
Yeah, absolutely. And for you listening, the question becomes, how are your actions, personally and together with others, contributing to that? Are they helping to clear and straighten the path for God's presence, or are they maybe unintentionally obstructing it? It's this continuous call, isn't it, to live as a people ready for visitation. So maybe just reflect on what's one thing you could do this week to make that path just a little bit straighter.